Hello friends, welcome back to tueslearn.com, your online study center. This is Virender and today we are going to learn something about position of elements. So in CSS, the elements can be positioned in three different forms. First one is the absolute position, the relative position, and the fixed position. Though there are two more forms, static and inherit, but we are going to discuss only three because they are used widely. So now let's get started using by creating first two divisions. So create div and div and okay, and give it a class or ID. Let's give it an ID of A. Copy that, paste it in here. This is, will be our another division with an ID B. So save it, save the file, name it position.html. I actually had created it. I would like to overwrite that file. Okay, so now let's style this divisions. So type style type equals text slash css and close the style. Now let's style these divisions. So for hash a, uh, let height should be around 200 pixels, width should be around 2 300 pixels. Yeah, 300 will do. And the background color should be yellow because I like yellow. Okay, and for the second element or the second division, I would like to have an height of 300 pixel and width of 400. No, let's have a width of 200 pixel in this case, and the background should be orange. Yeah, also let's have the border 1 pixel solid black. Copy that, paste it. Now we had created two divisions. Now let's check them out. Save it, press Alt Tab. No, not Alt Tab. There. So hit F12, and as you can see, I had created two divisions. One was yellow and the other one was orange. These two colors seems identical. I should get one green. But yeah, there. So by default, the position is relative, and I can change it to position absolute and to fixed. But first, what does the relative mean? The relative means when we are giving the position relative, then the two divisions will never intersect each other and they will be positioned relatively to each other. For example, for the first one, which was the yellow, it took an height of 200 pixel and a width of 300 pixel from there to there. And after that, what's over be left is taken by B, which starts from here, taking the height of 300 pixels and the position and the width of 200 pixels to there. But if we change it to position absolute there, if we change it to position absolute, copy that and paste it, save it, and Alt Tab, then there you can see the change. Now as the position has become absolute, so it doesn't matter how many divisions you will stand there and whatever the position of other divisions, it will not relate to other divisions, but it will take its correct position. So that's the difference between absolute and relative. In relative, the divisions are placed into position related to other divisions, whereas in the absolute positions, what's over be in the place, if there is any other division in the place, even then the absolute position divisions will take their original place. Okay, so if I set this to relative, for example, if I set this relative and this one I set relative to, okay, and save it, then you can see um, now it's related to this, it takes the position below it. And if I take a margin of top from 50 pixel, tab it F5, then you will see that it's taking 50 pixels position, 50 pixels margin from the first division, not from this window or from the screen's border, but from the division's border. And that's how the relative position works. But if it would be absolute, then the case could be different. Okay, I had spelled it wrong. Position absolute. Now save it. Alt tab F5. Still not working. And why is that? Because this one's relative. So let's make it absolute. Now save it. Alt tab hit F5. There. Now it's taking 50 pixels from this, and no matters whatever the division will be here, it will took its original position. It will not be relating to any other, you can say, division. And one more thing, so that you just didn't get confused, if I take a margin top of 200 pixels for the yellow one, so say it's the green ones taking the 50 pixels positions from here, and no matters how the green is changing, the how the yellow is changing its position, the green will stick to its position. But if it was relative, which is by default, let's delete them and delete that too. So you can see it's always below 50 pixels, the yellow one. So that's how the relative and absolute works. In absolute, the division will take its absolute position, where in the relative, they take relatively position to related to some other divisions. Okay, and what's more, whenever you are taking margin, you can always take that by using, okay, margin like 50 pixels from top, and auto, which means automatically adjust from left and right side, which means center 5. So this you can also do. And if you set the position to absolute, save it, then you can see now even you are using auto, it's automatically stick to the left because it will never leave its absolute position, where in the case of relatively position relative, it will be automatically adjusted to center. So the concept of position absolute and relative is really confusing, and you will find yourself get stuck in many times when you are working with these things. So it should be very clear, and your concept should be very clear in position absolute and relative. Okay, so there's one more to go, which is position fixed. Okay, so let me set first body height to 1000 pixels, and let the background color should be color. Let's set this color to be this. Save it, alt tab, hit F5. So now if you see that the position of these elements is not fixed, they are there, it's 300 pixels above the screen, and it's 50 pixels above this, about this, sorry, this is 200 pixels below the screen, and this is 50 pixels below this yellow one when we are taking the case of relative, and they are not fixed. But if I had used the position to be fixed, that is the position to be fixed, then you will see the difference there. You can see the position of the yellow is fixed, whereas the position of green is not fixed, and that's where we use fixed. So I think that's it for the tutorial, and let me see. Okay, so enough time we had spent on this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you and have a nice day.